Hi everyone. In today's episode, we have Anitha Eswaran, ERP solutions architect and an Azure architect as well. So she's more in technical side, but today we get to learn more about how she got to where she is and more about her personal life and how she kind of got into blogging and sharing more with the community. So Anitha, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi Ragnar, I am good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for joining on a weekend and hope you're doing well.
Thanks for
And one of the
inviting me to your podcast.
Welcome, you're welcome, and I'm honored in a way. So I've listened to a lot of your webinars and others. So today we get to know a bit more about you. So can you please give a small introduction on where you are right now in terms of your company and what are you doing?
So anyway, audience, they know I am Anitha Eswaran. So I reside in United Kingdom. I work for Sonata Software Europe Limited as Senior Digital Architect. And anyway, I have 18 plus. This is already a story which I have in my LinkedIn. So just a quick
Yeah.
recap of about me. I have 17 plus years of experience in Dynamics AX. So it was like when it started as AX 3.0, where we had a blue screen to enter all our logins. So that was then called AX Accepta. So and then as it progresses, I am still in the Dynamics world with working with lots of integration, not only with Azure, also with whenever I get a chance to work with Power Platform, there also I work. So obviously, whenever you get a chance, you should never lose the opportunity to learn. So that is what my simple goal is. I am from
Okay.
my native is Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and I did my schooling there. And then after, I have got two beautiful two beautiful sons. They are twins, and my husband. They are all supporting me in writing the blogs and then taking the webinars.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, that's one of the key things, right? When we look at all the professionals, like managing family and doing these blogs, they seem easy, but I appreciate all the work you've done there. And one of the key things for me was I've listened to you in one of the webinars, and I'm like, okay, maybe I will talk to her someday. So I'm glad it happened. So while we jump into this, what inspired you to start blogging? Like, I also see that you have a newsletter. So how do you choose your topics? How did you get into sharing with the community?
Yeah. How did I start with my blogging? My husband is my inspiration. So he is also from my same line. And so he used to blog earlier. So then even his blog was a community recognized, Microsoft community recognized. And seeing him, even I thought I wanted to share the knowledge what I have learned, what as a part of my learning, I wanted to share with our community members also. So that is where I started blogging. So there are every day we will be learning something or other in our work, right? So it might be simple or not simple. It may be simple to us, but at the time where somebody is facing that issue, it might help them. So that is where I started. I should start writing the blog. And regarding the newsletter, anyway, we have lots of updates coming across Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem and Azure or Power Platform. So many updates are coming every day. So it is very difficult to keep track of all the updates, right? And that is the reason I started the newsletter. And so recently we have so many challenges. Microsoft AI challenges are there. So obviously not everybody will be able to check the LinkedIn every day, whether this challenge is coming or not, what is happening. So such newsletter, when they subscribe, then they will know, okay, this is what is happening, and okay, I can also do. So just sharing the knowledge. That's it.
That is amazing. I mean, one of the key things I also liked was you keep updating yourself as well, because when with the new AI things and other things coming, so you share a lot of those as well. Sometimes like even like you mentioned, I don't have time to see, we don't see the everything in the same way, right? You get visibility to some things, I get visibility to some, and when you share, it's kind of like, okay, we get visibility to the all of what Microsoft is pushing, where the community is going as well. So, just as we switch back about your journey, can you share some pivotal moments on from how did you start? Did you start as an analyst, and how, your journey from analyst to an architect, maybe? So, if someone listening who's young wants to become an architect, what kind of maybe tips and suggestions you might want to give them?
When I looked 17 years before Ragnar, I was an average performer only. So it took some time for me to get a grip of what ERP is about. So me being from a technical side, so I was pushed into lots of technical artifacts like now it is simple for me, but those days tables, EDTs, classes, jobs. So just to interpret all this in my brain, it took some time. So never, you take your time. That is the tip I give. You take your time, but never stop learning. So that is how I transform from an analyst to an architect. And obviously, whenever you get an opportunity to learn, never miss it. You make mistakes, but you will learn from that mistake. I have made so many mistakes during my journey, but these are all the milestones which I have and which I have gained from this journey. And this will I can spread to my followers. I mean, I have my juniors with working with me, so I tell them, this is I have already faced, let us not do this. Okay, so this is how I exchange my knowledge with my colleagues also, and how I transform from the analyst to architect. This is not a simple journey, but it took some time to grip on getting myself established to an architect position. It took a hell lot of time, and obviously that journey is tough, but it is worth you put an effort. Never stop learning. A simple tip from me.
That's great. And the other thing also, like as we come from India, I think recently it doesn't seem like a long time ago, but it's very recent that my mom used to work, and I hope your parents and others as well. But being a woman, how was it for you? Like, I don't want to go into the woman aspect because you're talented, you're all about what you can bring to the table, right? But are there any challenges you have faced, or how did you overcome? Because 17 years ago, you might be one of the first few coming out and doing ERP side of it, because not that it's few, but it was not that foreseen. Like a lot of people didn't get into technical aspect of it. So can you give some examples on that side as well?
Yes, as a woman, I too face challenges because work-life balance is a major challenge here for us, right? Because we need to take care of our family and we need to balance the professional life as well. But yeah, I had, but those times we didn't had work from home. But then I had to I need to commute to office. So there I took some place where it is nearby to my office. And so the travel time can be saved. And yeah, and I make sure that I spend some time with my sons as well, because those are the time where I need to take care of them, correct? Because that moment is necessary for them as well. So I make sure I spend some time with them, but I also make sure I will complete the deliverables which I have been assigned. So with that, I gain the trust with my managers. So, but obviously here again, I need to mention my husband and my parents, and his parents were so supportive, without which I will not be able to reach this stage. That is a biggest support which I have received from my family. That is a blessing, I can say.
No, that's amazing. Like you mentioned, I think one of the key things about women empowerment, anything we want to talk about challenges, is half of the time it's a battle won in the house. So if you
Correct.
have a great support, then because even writing blogs takes a lot of time, and that time you might want to spend with family, or you might not have to navigate those challenges. Like even me, when I do these videos, my wife's taking care of the dogs, my wife's taking care
Correct.
of the other things. So without her, I won't be able to have,
Seriously,
even though
family
she's,
support plays a major role, right, Ragnar? Here.
yeah, even if she's in the background, she's the one who actually lets me finish what I want to do. And when she's doing something, sometimes I have to stop everything. But that's great to hear. Like you have a great support from within, and then hopefully more people kind of notice and understand when you blog, it doesn't mean you have time. It just you're giving time to the community by choosing it. So thank you for that, and that means a lot. Also, as we are here, one of the things about solution architect that I have learned is we speak with a lot of managers and others. So in terms of a lot of the decisions are mostly on what kind of solution we are going to. We have to sell the product in a way. So can you give us a walkthrough in a day, like a day of in your what do you call walk through a day in a life of a Dynamics architect or Azure? So in your current life, maybe what you're doing.
Yeah, so before the previous day itself, I will jot down my plan. So the next day, this will be my plan, and this is how I need to execute. So I am an early bird, so I start my day early by around 4:30 or 5, and then I finish my few of my tasks here. And then usually I also need to take care of my health. So I make sure my physical activity is also completed in the morning time itself. And then I will start my work, because as a solution architect, I need to get involved in various projects also. So the plan which I start in my day, it might not work out every day. So that will always be different. There will be a different set of issues waiting for me. So at times I need to attend the customer meetings where I need to provide, okay, this is the best approach you need to take for your integration because this is the data volume. So few things I need to advise the customers. So, and that will be a priority one. So this is how my day goes, Ragnar. It is not as planned most of the time, but I make sure I meet my goal, I complete my task by end of the day to some extent so that nothing is pending from my side. So as usual, so always expect the surprise whenever you start the day. That is what is happening here every day.
Okay,
And
I
also
think we
keep
lost you
yourself
when you said.
updated. Yeah, also
I think
keep
we.
yourself updated every day because I know every time you cannot master everything, but since with the updates we are in such a world where updates keep coming every day. So at least spend 15 to 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes every day to keep yourself updated, at least a line or two about what is happening in the latest current technology. Okay, what is ADF? Okay, this is what it does. What is copilot is doing? Okay, this is what it does. So when you speak to to your customers, they will know, okay, you can suggest to them, okay, for this scenario, this is the best, this can be the best fit for you. And if they ask more in detail, you can tell them, okay, if this is the area of interest for you, we will get in detail more about this, and then you can then progress. It is not going to stop you. Correct?
Understood. I think I lost you at 5:30 a.m., but that's a different story. We were, I think the key thing here is like you have a plan and agenda for your day. At least it just gives you like a mindset to go into, okay, this is what I want to achieve. And if things change, it's okay. But you have your priorities in place, I guess. In terms of your technical aspects, right? So you speak when a lot of your webinars I've listened to, you have a lot of technical knowledge as well. So how do you balance the technical aspects of your role with community engagement and public speaking? So how much time do you take to prepare for those webinars and others?
Yeah, so Ash, see, whenever I practice something, for instance, I have recently given a webinar on ADF. So that I had to create all those artifacts like pipelines, data sets, all those I need to keep it ready, correct? So since I have already practiced it, I know what and all to do because that practice, it takes some time. When I used to learn about ADF, I practiced a lot. So how the pipelines are calling, how the execution is happening. So that practice helped me to create, whenever I create a webinar, whenever I do a webinar, that helps me to keep my speed. Okay, it will take some time, Ragnar, but I am sure I tell you this practice would refresh your knowledge. See, this ADF I have learned a year back, but with this webinar, I was able to refresh my knowledge. I was able to create the pipeline again. I was stuck in between. Fine. I said, Anita, that's okay. That is going to happen. I was stuck in between. I faced some issues. The environment was not working. All these challenges I had, but it took at least some 7 to 8 hours I had to spend to prepare for a webinar. But it is worth the effort because I was able to share something with our community. Because somebody who is new to ADF, at least they can see, they can know what is seeing my webinar. What is ADF? What does it do? So with that, that is a satisfaction what you get at the end of the webinar.
Yeah, that was very like in a way you speak and talk about these things very easily, but sometimes we don't know it took you 8 hours, and sometimes someone trying to replicate something, even when I've demoed or something, was sometimes people get stuck and they feel like, okay, maybe they don't know the topic as advanced as they need. But like you mentioned, even for you, even for me, even we get blockages, and then those blockages is what we try to overcome and before the seminar or the video. So if you're trying to practice what she's teaching, the other thing also, I think you're very active on community. You can always comment and reach out to her on LinkedIn. So she will reply if you have I'm not speaking for you, but I've seen you reply to people. And even myself, I will reply if you have a question and things like that. On the other side, as we speak about AI and Copilot, like you were talking, so I know it's very new and we are all trying to get hands-on to it and understand, but you're also going through this AI certifications and courses. So how has it been for you? And are there any tips for someone who wants to learn towards it, even if it's not technical?
No, so that is what. So Microsoft AI challenge we have recently now. So we have still 13 days more to complete that challenge. It is not a kind of technical, Ragnar. So I could see from the front end you are able to see how you are typing something, Copilot is getting you some answer. But behind the scene, what is happening, how the algorithms are applied, how the model is being trained, it is what you see is just the tip of the iceberg. You are seeing the front end Copilot, but behind it, it is a big iceberg, I can say. So that AI fundamental certification gives you an idea of how the AI is planned, what are the algorithms being used, and how many algorithms are there. So many fundamental things we can learn there. So that is one of the best useful thing we can do here. At least it is, we still have 12 more days to go. So we can complete the challenge. And even if you don't complete the challenge, you can even continue after that. But that is worth learning here.
Okay. And are you doing these courses through Sonata, or are you doing on your own on the
So we
side?
have Microsoft Learn also. I always
Yeah.
go with the Microsoft Learn. That is the reason. See, it is a chain. Like if you complete a module, you will have an option to share it in the LinkedIn. So because that would inspire others to take that module. So that is the reason I am purposely, intentionally bringing that that I have completed this particular module in the LinkedIn. So seeing me, at least, okay, four, five members, at least they can take that. It is the AI challenge, is fundamental challenge. We have almost 19 to 20 modules. So I have completed 8 modules till now. So whatever I have completed, I share it in the LinkedIn. That is a simple Microsoft Learn account you want. You can use, all the details have been given there, and even you will be able to track the progress of how much you have completed, and you also have a knowledge check at the end of each module. That's okay, whether you answer all the questions properly or not, doesn't matter. At least you will know where you are making the mistakes. That is how you can learn.
And as we're speaking about this learn, one of the key questions that I get, or you also, we were speaking earlier, is people want to know, hey, how do I want to learn this? First thing is, I always say, join the community. You just have to like watch and listen to these people, even if you don't understand. Like listening to your thing about what you speak about Azure side. Though I'm not on Azure, I just listen because it gives me an idea. Next time we talk about something, so any tips for someone who's not so mature, at least in the product or something, how they can join the community and where they can go and learn this? And Microsoft Learn is a great tool, and also your newsletters are great as well. But what do you think if someone has no idea? What has your experience been using Learn and others?
Microsoft Learn is the best key resource what I have used. From basics, it is like you are learning the alphabet from ABCD, right? It is like that. Whoever are new to Azure or whatever in Microsoft technology, Microsoft Learn is the best link to reach. They will have from the basics till the advanced level. So when I started for ADF, I used those materials. That was very useful. But also, I think Azure is also giving some 30 days trial subscription. So if you want to try something, it is free of credit. If you want to try something, you can bring all your learning in that subscription also. Like you will be given some exercises. You can try it in your Azure subscription. On top of it, what I have noticed that few of the courses, like recently I have done related to Azure security storage. So there they have given their own VM, where it is each module will have a own VM. So you don't need to subscribe for it. As a part of the learning, you click that VM mode, it will automatically take you to their subscription. It is available for 3 hours. So you can try all your learnings, what is mentioned in the courseware also, and in that way you will be able to use it.
And that's the key thing. Like sometimes you just have to go through the journey to understand. Even finance and operations, once you start the journey, there are some VMs that will get you, and then you don't need to have. One of the key things I get is, hey, I don't have a job, but I would like to become an F&O consultant. And this is where you go to learn. It's all free. And then like Anita was mentioning, you get a few hours of VM and you can go and click on finance operation, each module. Same with Azure and others as well. And the other main thing is, as you follow Anita or others in the community, they keep sharing these things, and it's good for you to begin there. I think the first step I always tell everyone is find these key people and follow them.
Yes, and even I have mentioned in my LinkedIn also about the free VMs given by Microsoft Learn. So every day, at least the session will be for 2 hours. So after 2 hours, you will not get the same session again. It comes with a VM, including Visual Studio and the UI. So people who wanted to learn and who do not want to subscribe continuously, because that will have the additional cost also, right? So this Microsoft free VM will help them 2 hours, but you disconnect the session. After that, you can again make it available for another 2 more hours, but you cannot get back that older session which you were using it earlier. So we have lots of resources which Microsoft is giving now to welcome the new learners here.
Okay. No, and the other key thing I was also thinking was, I know I follow you and you comment here and there. What is the best way if someone wants to ask you a question, maybe?
I am always, yes, thanks. That is a good question, Ragnar. People, so many of our community members, all my connections, they message me in my LinkedIn. So I make sure I am not going to miss any of their questions. See, for instance, whether the recent availability on the bank reconciliation, I was speaking to one of our LinkedIn member. Okay, this is what is one of the roadmap in FNO. So I make sure I respond to their queries. If I do not know, at least I can route it to some other person. So people, if they want to get anything clarified, you can reach me in my LinkedIn.
And most of your projects are in Europe. I know you're doing international, right? So what is the what are some challenges you have noticed in terms of, each country has their regulations and stuff like that. So how do you overcome as a solution architect? And because someone thinking about joining a company in a different place, they need to learn this. So where they can go and think anything in those aspects?
Yeah, so no, before anyway, now I am doing some European projects. If I am for a different project, I make sure if I am working for a new project, I make sure which country it is, so which localization it falls on, and I spend some time to do some study on. Okay, these are all the recommendations I can give to them. See, everybody is not an expert on everything, right? I should not shy away from saying, okay, I don't know, I will get back to you. But at least I make sure I have some 10% of knowledge to tell them, hey, this is what I can suggest for you. But if you want more details, I will come and get back to you. So some 10% of preparation you need to do when you are joining. When you are on board to a new project, especially localization plays a major role in the current trend, right? Because they have their own globalization there, and they have their own data center. So how all this to be managed? Obviously, some amount of background work is necessary.
Great. The other key thing also I was trying to understand and see where this is going was, how do you stay up to date, other than the Microsoft feed and stuff? Is it the community that drives you? What drives you to be up to date in a way?
Yeah, it's obviously Ragnar. Even I am connected to others. Others are also connected to me. So how they are learning from me, I am also learning from them. So there are few statements like, see, if I see my LinkedIn, okay, this is what is a new feature released in FNO. Okay, I go back to the Microsoft link. Okay, then I learn more about it. And then, okay, if this is not blogged in this, then I bring it in my blog. Okay, this is what is the latest features, what has been added, and this is the roadmap. So obviously it is all the LinkedIn community. Our community members help me in keeping me up to date. The credit goes to them as well.
And congrats on your MVP nomination. And
Thanks.
one of the key things there is, I think it's a big journey too. So if someone's, I know you are nominated, and I'm pretty sure it's in the ways right now. But can you tell us more about this, what this recognition means, and how were you able to get nominated, maybe?
Yeah, so yeah, this is MVP recognition is one of the award which Microsoft will award you based on the community activities what you are doing. So for me, one of the few of the community activities, my blogging plus my webinars. I have recently almost some 15 webinars, 15, so many activities, the online activities I have done. Like I used to take sessions, then I used to attend the Logic Apps, I used to give to Logic Apps aviators. So all this I used to do. So the main thing is contribute to the community, and in turn you will be recognized by the Microsoft. Obviously, someone has to nominate you. From our side, somebody will keep track of what you are doing, and then they will nominate you as an MVP. That is a tough journey. You need to dedicate yourself to reach the goal, to reach that stage, but nothing is impossible. Keep trying, and obviously you will. I had a goal, I should become an MVP. I had a goal, and that I have reached. So, and to retain that, I still have to put more effort, because that is one of the award which we need to contribute more, like how I used to do, right? The contribution should be, again, it should be ongoing. So yeah, nothing is impossible. If you want to become an MVP, keep it in your goal and work on that.
That's great. And as we speak about sharing and ERP as well, Do you have any misconceptions that people might have or might have thought about you, that you only know ERP or you only know Azure? So can you share any examples if you have any?
Yeah, Microsoft ERP implementation, one misconception what it is there is it is a time consuming and it is complex. To some extent, I agree it is time consuming. The reason why it is time consuming is you need to understand what is needed. So just like say the F, for instance, F1, you have lots of out of box features, but what is needed for the ask you need to understand, and that is where that is fit gap analysis is the most time consuming phase in one in a project. So agree that is time consuming, but it is worth the effort. But I cannot say it is a misconception, which would completely stay don't use ERP. But how when you start implementing the ERP, you will know what are all the advantages you have as a part of SaaS, and also how it can be easily integrated with other technologies. All those you will get to know. So this is the challenge, means you need to do some background work. That is what I need to say here.
And as we spoke about those challenges and misconceptions, one of the key things, most of the times, everything is a business process, right? Like procure to pay, everything is just a business process. Each company does maybe one or two things differently, but the business process remains the same. One of the key things I always get or asked is, if do I need to learn finance before I become a consultant? And what kind of finance related topics I need to run, especially for finance maybe? Do you have any tips on what they can do if they're not from finance background? I don't know if you are, so I would like to know, how did your journey start in finance as well?
From this one, I can say, yeah, a little bit of training is needed. See, few technical, or even if you want to understand how a sales or a simple sales order has to be posted, if you are a learner or a beginner, obviously you can learn on the fly when you are onboarded to a project. But before that, if you have some journey, okay, some understanding what is sales order, okay, what is the need, why is it needed, what is happening in the background, a simple background, a simple knowledge if you have, that would be helpful. But that's okay, even if you don't have a background, also not a possible, you can learn while you are on the journey.
And the other place you could learn is also through community and all the tutorials that you guys have everyone's putting out, right? So we are putting tutorials. Sometimes some people go from basics. So those are the key people you need to identify. And I don't think this is one of the other key and you also help with Power Apps, right? So one of the misconception is people think that they need to have technical knowledge, they need to have this, but now we are in low code space. So the barrier to entry has become low and low and low. So any tips on who can join, and have you seen what would be the future for this? Because it helps everyone to come and join and learn something new.
Yeah, one thing is, never say no to any opportunity that knocks your door. So when you get an opportunity to learn about Power Apps, okay, if you don't have any idea now, when I started my journey 17 years ago, we didn't have this kind of community. So we had to learn everything by ourselves. Max to max, we can reach to our colleagues and say, hey, help me on this, that's it. But now with the community here, help here, there are lots of resources. And then even if you post in a community, where do you start the Power Apps from? Where do you start the Power Automate from? You will have many people for you to help. At least you will not be blocked somewhere. So make use of all the resources that would help you to grow the knowledge here. That is how I did. It's from my personal experience, I am saying.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier a bit, but I would like to really, I know you spend a lot of time on the blogs, and asking you to make videos is going to be more work for you. But sometimes I think when you make them when you have time, I think they will add a lot of value from what you said. So we really want you to make more videos.
Sure,
So
Ragnar.
if you're trying to make your first 2-3 videos or one video, what is the concept you're gonna be, so we can keep you accounted in a way?
No, I just wanted to see, okay, I have blogging is fine. We can do it, but I need to do something on the video. See, for I have kept some stuff where I can record a video and then show it. Maybe I am targeting by this month end. I make sure I will do a video and then I will inform you, Ragnar. Then you are the person who are going to do this for me once the video is done.
I'm happy
Because
to help.
you are now an expert in the video skills. So I will reach out to you. Hey Ragnar, please tell me if I have made any mistakes and you are going to help me in that.
Yeah, if you like send anything or audio fixing or whatever, we are always, not just me, like anyone I've interviewed so far, they're all been helpful. So we are all trying to help each other. The more videos people make, the more podcasts, other things people have is going to just add voice to the community in a way.
Correct.
Because a lot of the times your newsletters are amazing, but when we hear from you, you could share some tips and other things. And that's what we are interested in. But I
Sure.
really appreciate your time today. One of the last things I want to ask is, most of the time, anyone who starts this journey, the key question I ask is, it's not about what you do now or what you want to do. It's about why you started this and why you are doing this, right? So what is your journey on why you became a solution architect, or what you're doing with helping companies?
Yeah, so as you said, as I already said, like I started as a simple analyst with an average performer when I started my journey. But then I reached a stage where I thought I should do something for the community. For that, if I want to help the community, first I should grow myself. So that is where that spark had helped me in reaching this stage. And obviously, this is not a smooth journey. You have lots of obstacles and you will have lots of issues. You start a day in a plan and then it will end up in a different plan. But never stop. Even if it takes time to start your journey, don't stop but continue it. That is the tip I am giving to our learners here.
Thank you. One of the key things I learned myself was, you reiterated multiple times, but it's about never say no to an opportunity. And sometimes opportunities it might not be so favorable to you, but I think that's what I learned from you, to not say no to an opportunity and grow. So thank you for that. And I hope our audience will listen to you more and follow you on LinkedIn. I'll put everything down below. But really appreciate your time today. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ragnar. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. It was nice speaking to you. And the people, I mean, our LinkedIn community members, they can reach out to me for any help or any issues. I am ready to help them.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.